the first thing you notice is the silence, not the absence of noise, the absence of pressure, the constant monitoring, the analyzing, the walking on eggshells, the second guessing every word, every move, every thought. For so long, you lived under surveillance. Even when he wasn't there, he was there. In your head, questioning your choices, critiquing your decisions, making you doubt your own reality. You learned to check yourself constantly. Would this upset him? Would that start a fight? Is this outfit too much? Is that laugh too loud? Are you being too happy, too sad, too anything? You became so small, so careful, so controlled. And then one day, he's gone. Or you leave. Or you finally enforce a boundary that sticks. And suddenly, the surveillance stops. And you don't know what to do with the space it left behind. At first, the freedom feels terrifying. You catch yourself still asking for permission that you no longer need, still editing yourself for an audience that's no longer watching, still bracing for criticism that isn't coming. You make a decision and wait for someone to tell you it's wrong. You express an opinion and wait for someone to correct you. You do something just for yourself and wait for someone to punish you for it. But nobody does, because you're free now. And freedom, after control, feels like standing on the edge of a cliff. So you test it. Slowly. Carefully. You say no to something small. And the world doesn't end. You choose what to eat without consulting anyone. You make plans without asking permission. You buy something you want without justifying the expense. And each time you wait for the backlash. The guilt trick. The silent treatment. The explosion. But it doesn't come. Because you're not under his control anymore. And slowly, terrifyingly, beautifully, you start to remember who you were before you learned to disappear. Here's what they don't tell you about leaving control. You don't immediately feel strong. You feel fragile, uncertain, like you've forgotten how to make decisions for yourself because for so long your decisions were overridden, dismissed, or punished. You've been told what to think, how to feel, what to want for so long that your own voice sounds foreign. You second guess yourself constantly because his voice is still in your head, critiquing every move. But gradually, something shifts. You start making small choices just for you. Not to please anyone. Not to avoid conflict. Just because you want to. You listen to music he hated. You wear the clothes he said were unflattering. You spend time with the friends he isolated you from. You laugh without checking if it's too loud. You cry without being told you're being dramatic. You exist without permission, and it feels revolutionary. The quiet strength doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It grows, slowly, in the spaces where control used to live, in the moments where you choose yourself and nothing bad happens, in the mornings you wake up and don't immediately feel dread. You start noticing things, how light you feel without someone constantly critiquing you. How peaceful it is to make a mistake without it becoming evidence of your inadequacy. How good it feels to have your own thoughts without someone telling you they're wrong. You realize you don't miss him. You miss who you were trying to be for him. And you're relieved you don't have to be her anymore. The quiet strength is in the stillness, in the absence of chaos, in the peace that comes from not being managed, manipulated, or monitored every moment of every day. It's in the way you start trusting yourself again. Your instincts, your feelings, your perceptions. All the things he told you are wrong, you start to see were right all along. It's in the way you stop apologizing for existing. Stop making yourself smaller to make someone else bigger. Stop accepting crumbs and calling it love. You become solid, grounded, clear. Not because you've built walls, but because you've found your center again. The place he tried to erase. And the silence that scared you at first? It becomes your sanctuary. Because it's not empty. It's full of you. Your thoughts. Your choices. Your life. Unadulterated by someone else's constant control. You're not waiting for someone to tell you who to be anymore. You're just being. And that simplicity, after years of complexity and manipulation, feels like coming home. The quiet strength isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It's just there. In the way you hold your ground. In the way you trust yourself. In the way you no longer flinch when someone raises their voice because you know you can walk away. It's in the way you've survived what was designed to break you. And you're still here. Still standing. Still learning to take up space again. So, if you're in that strange, quiet space right now, where the control has stopped, but you're not sure if you are without it, know this. You're finding your strength. It's there, in the silence, in the stillness, in the absence of his voice telling you who you should be. You're remembering. And that remembering? That's your power returning. The quiet strength you find after he stops controlling you isn't about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering who you always were beneath the fear. And she's still there, waiting, strong, free. Thanks for being here. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to remember their strength. And subscribe to The Unhurried Woman for more reminders that your freedom is your birthright, not something you have to earn.